at the John Cooper Works mini experience, and I am wearing the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience.
Oh yeah, like it was a very good experience actually. I mean, like, in terms of experience, it was really good. It was a mega mini experience to be frank, because first of all, that Krishna Mini Chandigarh, they've done a splendid job. Like they took us from home to airport in a mini, then
Wow.
from airport again to the hotel in a mini.
Wow.
And then again, like from hotel to MMRT, that's a Chennai racetrack, again in a mini.
Oh wow. So you had a real mini experience.
Yeah. It was a mega mini experience.
Okay. But
So, yeah.
I've driven a Cooper S before, and not a John Cooper Works, but
Yeah.
a Cooper S before, and you've driven it,
Yeah.
and now you've driven the John Cooper Works. So, what's the difference like? Like, what's your take on it? Would you recommend it to someone? Whom would you recommend it to? Because obviously that's not a car that is for everyone. Somebody has to really love a mini to buy a mini.
Absolutely.
So yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, like,
What's the car like?
To be frank, I really like the car actually. I mean, like, you can't get a better deal in front wheel drive than a mini. Because I remember once I was also sitting next to you when you were driving a
The Cooper S.
Cooper S, I suppose. So, like, I think you felt some jerks when gear shifting was happening and all. Like, is it like? Do you remember? Like, how was it? Like,
You know, the driver never gets to know that, because obviously mini is a rocket. I mean,
yeah, it is.
I'm sure John
Yeah,
Cooper
yeah.
Works would be amazing, but even Cooper S is a rocket because it's a really small car. with-
190 bhp, like
in
for
that
a
size.
1200 kilo
Yeah.
car. That's like
it's,
good.
it's a bomb.
Good,
So
yeah.
I mean, I was too focused on the
Driving
just the
part.
driving, so I don't really know how the ride quality was like, because I was just enjoying the peppiness of going really fast in a straight line.
Yeah,
So-
that too in a Delhi traffic.
That too in Delhi, yeah. So
So it was like a Italian job.
yeah, only I didn't have a high stove.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, like it was good. Like first we started with that figure of eight, like, and then there were cones of slalom test and all. Then we did the whole track also of MMRT. I went there for the first time. It was really good. And like we'll put that video also of the track in the end. So like it was good. Like it was very linear. Like I think the Cooper S, it has a double clutch transmission with 7-speed. But this
Yeah, it's 8-speed.
JCW is a 8-speed. I think it's a ZF transmission, same as this Beamer.
The BMW,
So the engine and the transmission are like gelled up very nicely. So I think like it's more, of course it's more peppy, but it's like more linear compared to I think your Cooper S.
Okay.
Because Cooper S was jerky while changing gears.
Yeah, I think it was. Like you could feel the gear change happening.
Gear change, exactly.
Yeah.
But here, like in this mini, you don't feel any gear change, and it's much more pliant. That was very bouncy, I guess. But this is not at all bouncy. This was like adaptive suspension, of course. Like it was. That's one option. I think like it's an option.
Yeah, that's something I'm gonna come to.
Yeah. So, yeah. So otherwise, like it was really good. The brakes were awesome. I think it's much better than Cooper S because the Brembo brakes, 4-piston calipers, were very linear, very nice brakes. I mean, even the trainer who had come from Malaysia, he was also saying that like in last 3 days of track days and all, they've not even changed
Changed the
any
brakes.
brake pads, and like they were all without any fade. So like really good brakes.
Okay.
I mean, only brakes I think will cost around 3-4 lakh rupees. Like if you want to get them
works?
A person who loves Mini, of course, like there's not gonna be a better Mini than that right now. It's like one of the most powerful Minis ever made,
Okay.
and like most sophisticated Minis ever made. It's like really good, and I really loved it. Like in MMRT itself, like I think I did 2 minutes 10 seconds in that lap, so not bad. I mean, like we were not even trying. It was like really good.
Okay. And from the price point, is there anything that
Price point, I'd say that it's for that price they should have given us a free flow exhaust and a better sounding Mini, which we'll have to like get a JCW kit, exhaust kit separately, which is not allowed in India thanks to Indian government. I don't know why, but like then it's not available.
So I was actually looking at the standard features which are available versus what upgrades you can do, and there are a couple of things which actually make sense, but there are a couple of things which they don't make
negative,
sense. Yeah,
like,
they
I was coming on that point only.
Yeah.
Like, what if money was not an issue?
Yeah.
And if you had money, like enough money, extra money to buy a Mini, what color you gonna buy and what options will you choose? I mean, like out of
Yeah.
these options, like what,
So if
what
I have to choose a green color, which is actually the signature.
choose a green color?
No, I don't fancy a green, but if I had to, then I pay 60,000 extra for that. 18 inches alloy again comes at a price tag of 50,000, which again, if I'm buying a Mini versus a John Cooper Works, I would expect the John Cooper Works to have the 18-inch alloy as a standard.
But then, like Mini Cooper S, like if you opt for 18 inches,
Yeah.
you pay 1.5.
I still can't do the maths. Like, why am I supposed to do this? It should come as a standard. I mean,
Yeah.
anyways, you're paying a lot difference. We understand that it's mostly to do with taxes, but still you end up paying more.
Yeah.
So yeah. Besides that, I think something which did not make sense to me was tire pressure monitor. Like it's supposed to be very, very standard because it's. I think in cheaper vehicles also now you get that as a
standard.
as a standard, yeah. And we drive Beamers, and all BMWs have the standard feature of air pressure monitor.
Yeah.
Because if you're on the highway,
we need it also because
Yeah,
that's a run flat tire.
yeah.
Like,
So it's not an option; it's a necessity
yeah.
thing. And I'm buying a car which is 43 lakhs, and it doesn't have a tire pressure monitor, and I have to spend how much? 30,000.
Yeah.
That kind of doesn't make sense to me. Adaptive suspension, although in a sports, in an upgrade, which is a performance upgrade.
Yeah, that's
Again,
the best Mini. John Cooper Works is the best Mini, like possible. That's an M of a BMW
Yeah.
or AMG,
Or AMG
of a Mog.
Yeah.
So of course, it
But
should have all.
Again, should have been a standard.
They are asking for 85,000
Yeah.
for adaptive suspension. I'll definitely go for that. Otherwise, like it's not a Mini JCW.
Yeah, and I don't get
John Cooper Works.
the idea of Bluetooth USB. You have to pay extra,
Yeah.
and navigation system, which is there in every phone.
Yeah.
Why would you want to shell out 1.2 lakhs for navigation? I mean, certain things honestly do not make sense to me. Which
Of course, as you were saying, that even Uber driver has a navigation system. And
why do I pay 1.2 lakhs just to get a navigation? It's in every car. It's not. We're talking about 2019. We're not in 1999 that navigation needs to be a 1.2 lakh. So there are a couple of things which don't make sense to me, which actually did not make sense to me with Mini Cooper S also, because there were certain things which are very, very standard. Like if you want a center console, pay
you had to
35,000.
pay. You had to pay
35,000
earlier.
extra for that. So there are a couple of things which are not making sense to me. But again, I think if you want the most powerful, the most peppy front wheel drive ever,
Like it is one of the most powerful.
Yeah. If you want to buy a rocket, if you want to buy a bomb that's front wheel drive, that is the option. And since BMW 1 Series is discontinued in India,
Yeah, 1 Series is right now
settle for an orange. I don't see a
Orange,
yellow,
okay.
but yeah, I would rather buy a
Orange, okay.
yeah.
And
Actually,
what
a
about
red because red is such a exclusive mini color.
And what about the top? The top is in black, white, red, and I think body color as well.
If it's a red, then it goes with black. If it's an orange, again, I go with black.
Black.
Yeah.
Red body and black.
Maybe then red body, then yeah, black.
Okay.
I would never buy a white mini.
Yeah.
I don't know who would buy a white mini.
Of course. So not green.
It's 60,000 extra for something which almost looks black. No.
Right. So that's good.
I
And
think
any other accessory that's an option, like as a
adaptive suspension, tire pressure monitor, I think are two things which you cannot do without if you're buying a John Cooper Works. If I was buying a Mini Cooper, I would maybe not buy the adaptive suspension. Tire pressure monitor still, I think.
because you're a music buff, so I think that
Yeah.
you'll need that Bluetooth.
I can actually live without it,
Okay.
but not that I'd be happy with it.
Okay. And
Also,
then
sunroof.
sunroof. What about sunroof? Would you go in for that as an option because that's I think 1.2,
1.4 lakhs.
1.4 lakhs. Okay. Yeah. So.
Again, not that anyone who has a sunroof ever uses one, but I feel that there are times when you want it. Like I can't say when you would want it, but you do want a sunroof, right? You buy an expensive car, you want a sunroof. Whether I use it or not, it's up to me.
Yeah,
but I should be there.
It's a through and through.
Yeah, it's a panoramic sunroof,
Yeah.
but you gotta pay a huge price tag for
Yeah,
that. So.
that's the instead of that, I'll go in for a proper exhaust system so that it growls and pops. So yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, that's what it is, and so that's about it actually. I mean, it was really fun on a track. Awesome track too, actually. I must say, and very smooth. The engine, the transmission, everything is very smooth.
And I even think size-wise, for a country like India, where you don't have a lot of space to drive around, and you definitely don't have space to park around. And like I know a lot of people who are like South Delhi people, and they have fancy cars, and they have a driver. They carry around a driver just because they can't park their cars. So I'm driving a 530i or a 530d, but I have a driver because when I get out of the car, somebody needs to park it, and it's a pain to park bigger cars. So you really need to walk a lot to park your car, or even like my car is not huge, but it's huge enough. So the first thing that comes in my mind whenever I'm driving to a place is like, can I park it? So I think with Mini that's not going to be a problem because you can fit it anywhere.
You're driving right now, which car?
A BMW X1.
X1, yeah. X1 is
It's not tiny.
Yeah, it's good.
It's not that big, but it's still not tiny.
Yeah,
And I find it a pain to park. Like I would rather trade it for a 1 Series because this is much more compact and I can fit it at places. But if I had a Mini, I'd be happier because I think when you live in a country where there's so many cars on the road, the smaller the car, I think it's better. So and it's peppy, so it's small, but it's a rocket. You're driving something which is very fast.
And like surprisingly, even the ground clearance is really good.
Yeah, it will work well.
135 mm ground clearance for such a small wheelbase is good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Which means you don't have to worry about
potholes and all, and big speed breakers. It won't scrap. Like the underbody won't scrape. It's just like Cooper S. There's no difference between Cooper S and John Cooper Works, and in terms of ground clearance. Because there's a massive difference between an M car, AMG, and a normal Mercs and normal Beamers and an M Beamer.
Yeah, I think it almost becomes impractical
almost
to drive an AMG or an M on regular roads because
very difficult.
because the clearance
to
just
plan.
kills it. Yeah, you have to plan your
Plan
route,
the
and
route.
if there is something extra on the road, it might cost you your
road
alloy.
under construction or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, yeah. And it's happened to us before,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
even in
that's
an M car. And
Yeah.
I have almost destroyed a 3 Series
Yeah, absolutely. So.
with absolutely no fault of mine because I just did not see the pothole.
And both the tires were busted, so it's really bad. So I mean, it's a boon to have a sufficient ground clearance so that you can enjoy your car like on almost every road of India. So it's important.
So I think bottom line, if you're looking for something really fast and really practical and yet very very peppy because you like to be sitting on the edge.
And if you want to stand out and if you love attracting a crowd.
Come closer to me, let's go.
We are getting a nice video, bro. What's his stuff?
When the second parabola on the right hand side, you can see I can pull away because I have a better exit. Okay, good job. Car number 4, that's the second parabola, yeah? You need to get a good exit to be on the right hand side because the next corner on the left, then you can go flat out. Yeah? Other than that, it was quite good. Okay, we wait.